like you love me, baby, if you get it.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tribe to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
South Carolina can find your black ancestors beyond the 1870 census, which usually that's where the information stops. And they said it's not that hard to find this information either. Let's get started and learn something new. Man behind all of this is Brian Sheffy. He's the director for the Center for Family History at Charleston's International African American Museum. What inspired him was that he grew up in England but was born in the United States, and he wanted to know about his heritage. So 35 years ago, he researched his father's genealogy and has been hooked ever since, hosting the online genealogy website and program Genealogy Adventure. Of course, the museum has informational exhibits, but the Center for Family History, which functions as a beating heart of the institution, is helping Black people trace their family roots. And anyone who wants to learn about their lineage can schedule an appointment and use the center's resources. What's so cool about this article is the writer of this article that was interviewing Brian Sheffy went there to get his family genealogy, and he didn't expect him to find too much, but Brian Sheffy found all of this information about his family. He went back to 1838. Brian Sheffy said slavery was a business. Plantation owners, even if they were illiterate, they were into making money. And what do you do when you run a business? You keep track of your assets and you keep track of your debits. This museum in Charleston, South Carolina isn't the only museum focusing on family genealogy and family research centers. There's also the Ohio's National Underground Railroad Freedom Center and Washington, D.C.'s National Museum of African American History and Culture. And they offer iPad stations to search dozens of genealogy websites. The museum is also collecting stories of octogenarians and older generations through video interviews to ensure their imprint is preserved. Another interesting thing that the writer of this article found out is that Brian Sheffy went all the way back to trace his mom's side of the family and their lineage, and he found out that a lot of the documents were destroyed in a fire. So he was able to even see, like, even though we don't even have the documents, I know that they were destroyed in this fire. Such interesting stuff. Ultimately, Sheffy found no famous ancestors like Frederick Douglass or Harriet Tubman, as sometimes when he digs into people's family trees. But to Sheffy and to me, he had uncloaked a story of resilience. I hope you learned something new.
I'm having the privilege to sit down with an OG college professor, hip-hop historian, and he's also one of my mentors. Please welcome Dr. Cornelius East. What's up, Doc?
Well. Brother Joe, you know you're like one of my sons. I look at you as a nephew, but your hip-hop counterpart is in a state of 911, you see. And these young motherfuckers.
A hip-hop story, now available for rental or purchase in most worldwide territories, exclusively at ahiphopstory.com.
Peace to the party. It's your homeboy back again with the news. And I know y'all been seeing, it's been going crazy, man. So the topic of the day, what we digging in today is, are the black entertainers, the black celebrities, are they bought and paid for by the Democratic Party? Are they puppets, whatever you want to call it? We didn't have enough of a case study, enough time has passed that we can properly judge this and really have an opinion on this. Because right now it's egregious, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to use the DNC as an example, and we're going to build from there to catch up to the timeline, right? But this really started, I want to say it went into overdrive with Obama. When Obama was running and everything, you know, my president is black with Jeezy and all that, it was going crazy, bro. I think that was the reintroduction to black celebrity to the Democratic Party. But at this point, bro, like they just grasping their straw because we already have seen that before. So now they trying to run the same playbook, but it ain't looking up. Well, I ain't gonna lie and say it ain't working because it is people in our community who seem to be rocking with this, but this who we want to talk with. Maybe next week or something we'll have an open panel, man. If you really rocking with them Democrats, I need somebody to come explain why. Because after we watch this today, I want y'all to tap in and let me know, bro. So you know how we always do. We're gonna start at the other side. We're gonna do some coverage from the DNC. The first thing, let me show you, they had a new initiative, bro. I want to let them talk to you about it first, and then we'll break it down. But let's see what they talking about.
For the first time ever, more than 200 content creators have been given credentials, like press credentials, to attend and cover the Democratic National Convention. The move comes as Democrats continue to try and reach out to young voters. And while polling shows many 18 to 29-year-old voters are leaning in favor of the Democratic nominee, some are worried the enthusiasm behind Kamala Harris may not actually guarantee a turnout on Election Day. So Kalen Allen is joining us. He is one of those content creators at the DNC, and he's previously participated in social media strategy sessions with the Biden administration. You know, Kalen, it's always good to see you. I gotta admit, I'm a little jelly. I mean, you're living your best life. Last time we...
Look at this sad nigga, man.
You know, we spoke to you about Beyonce. Now you're at the DNC, and it looked like one heck of a party last night. So creators are there, and they have those official badges, just like journalists. They have access that many sort of legacy media members are going to have, including VIP interviews and studio space. How are you seeing this play out? What are you seeing other content creators and influencers doing, and what do you make of this strategy?
You know, personally, I think that the strategy is absolutely brilliant. I have had a front row seat to watching these creators actually activate and mobilize in ways that I've never seen us been able to have access before. I mean, they are absolutely working. And I think what is great about this is that we are meeting young voters where they are. But I think it even also expands far past young voters, but also the parents of these voters. And I think that is absolutely amazing.
And you know, clearly it's not just the use of, you know, I was thinking about the use of influencers and content creators like you. And one of the things that you have is this incredible reach, and you don't cost very much. You know what I mean? You make the content that would probably cost millions of dollars for the party to make. I'm wondering, though, if the content has content. If you get what my drift is the content, you know, here's what they're eating at the DNC. Oh my God, I just saw Lil Jon. Or are content creators talking about the issues that are important to younger voters?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing that I want to make sure that I emphasize is that there are a wide range of content creators, and everyone was brought here for a purpose. And what I've seen is that the content creators that were selected are people that actually have platforms that they have actually structured around, like policy and different political activations and conversations. So I think there's a lot of intention and purpose behind there. And of course, you have some people that are here just for the experience, but for the majority, these are people that actually talk about these topics on a day-to-day basis.
And what is your take on how the Harris campaign has been doing? You know, for a while there was kind of a suggestion that, you know, Harris was kind of, that this was a sugar high and Harris isn't really talking about policy at all. Are you seeing the campaign bring up issues that are important to young people? And what are some of those issues?
Oh, absolutely. I think when it comes to the actual policy, what is great about especially how they have incorporated content creators is that we have all been provided with a lot of messaging. We have been provided with a lot of the facts and details that comes with the campaign so that we can be the catalyst for that information. You know what I mean? And I know last time that I was there, we discussed about how the campaign was trying to figure it out because it was so last minute that they were thrown into it. And I think what they've been doing is really doing trial and error and figuring out what works. But I think what is great, especially with their social media presence, is that they are able to actively be on the topic as it happens and that you don't have to wait to get the information later on.
So tomorrow you're actually going to be participating in a live roundtable discussion. It's called The Youth Vote. Are we losing the next generation? And it's for the Congressional Black Caucus and Rolling Sea Action.
Now you heard that Congressional Black Caucus, but you heard Buddy say in the beginning that they was going to be talking about different issues. So she asked him about the issues, and you notice they ain't not one. You know what I'm saying? He's saying it's a wide range of coverage, but here's your chance to speak to the issue. He ain't have nothing to say, but you heard him. The reason being is he's supposed to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus, and they supposed to have this forum.
Fund. Can you tell us a little bit about this panel and what you hope to be discussing?
Yes, absolutely. So there will be multiple panels, and I will be sitting on that one that you just mentioned. But what we will really be discussing, and I think my angle is that my thing is that I am all about teaching young voters to not rely on media to help them decide what they should do, and giving the resources of being able to do their own research and not letting media dictate how they should move. Because I do think that social media oftentimes can create a hive mentality, and I don't think that that is conducive to this election because we don't have a lot of time. So it's important to be able to do your own research and make your own informed decision.
Yeah, that's really smart.
I agree with that, but let's see if they actually doing that because it sounds good, right? Any person with common sense would agree with that. You don't want to rely on the media. You want to do your own research, but let's see what the facts that he say that they putting out.
Kaylin Allen, thank you very much. Have fun.
Thank you, darling.
All right, so that's Buddy there. All right, so that was the content creators. So the first time in history, they let over 200 content creators come into the DNC to come get coverage, and he talking real good as if they talking issues and important things, right? So we gonna do a little recap of the DNC, and we gonna let y'all be the judge of these issues that they was talking about, right? So let's start off. They had a roll call. Let's listen to their roll call they had. This was to appeal to the young voters, they say.
My name is DJ Cassidy, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Democratic National Convention roll call. Now we're going to pass the mic from state to state so that all our voices are heard all around the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight to officially nominate Kamala Harris for president. Five, get loud, another round of shots. DNC, turn out for what? Turn out for what?
Man, they got that boy Rudy Rudiger from that movie, man. Y'all might not know nothing about that. It was a sports movie called Rudy. They got Buddy in here.
Indiana welcomed me into its heart as soon as I married Christine Harrell from Rolling Prairie. And that's before I lived in Hawkins or played the littlest player with the biggest heart at the University of Notre Dame, Rudy. I want what's best for Indiana, and that means electing Kamala Harris, the first woman president of the United States of America.
Greetings from Louisiana, Mr. Secretary. My name is Wendell Pierce, and I'm a proud son of Louisiana. And Louisiana is about family, and I'm surrounded by my family of the delegates of Louisiana.
They got that boy Spike Lee.
I'm Eva Longoria from Corpus Christi, Texas, home of Selena Quintanilla, and I'm here to introduce native Texan Cecile Richards.
So they want to make sure they get a little mix, right? So this the roll call to play some music, get some more celebrities in. You know what I'm saying? Do what they do. So hold on. What we got here? So we got Sarah in there. She say, why can't we tell the truth that both parties aren't for us? You will never hear us say over here that you need to support a particular party. You can tell by the name of the channel, this is the autonomous party. Autonomy means you go whatever your mind says, your research says, you have the autonomy to make your own decision. However, this is business, right? Because if you're talking like this, that means you understand what type of system we in. This is a corporation. So guess what? We need certain things to happen on our benefit, no matter what your ideology is, because you live on this soil. So we're not telling you Republican or Democrat. We cover anything that go on in the media and show the hypocrisy. It just so happened that we talking about the Democrats today. So that's what it is. You ain't got to choose a side, but you do need to be informed. That's just, it is what it is. So we got what Trill say. It ain't nothing but a big ass game playing in our faces. It's church concert and hope with a dash of fear. That's exactly what it is, bro. This is what we need to call out. Regardless of what's going on, you are here. Who knows what your status is? I ain't here to judge, but you are on this soil. So whether you are a citizen or not, what goes on affects you. No matter if you Christian, no religion, if you Hebrew Israelite, Pan-African, American Indian, whatever, you still are here. So you're affected by what's going on. The consciousness done tricked us into really a trick bag. But we're going to get to that toward the end of the video. Let's talk back to what's going on with the DNC, right? So we just had the roll call. You know what I'm saying? They're getting everybody hyped with the music, know how they do. So then they called in the big dog Oprah. Let's hear what Oprah had to say real quick.
We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back. Not going back. We're not going back. So, let us choose. Let us choose truth. Let us choose honor. And let us choose joy. Because that's the best of America. But more than anything else, let us choose freedom. Why? Because that's the best of America. We're all Americans, and together, let's all choose Kamala Harris.
You hear this, bro? She come through. She brought the boys back when she was giving out the cars and the houses on the show. You know what I'm saying? They keep telling us we're not going back. It's as if Trump was to get elected, we're going to be in slavery. Like, we finna go back to all of this. Like, what's up with the fear mongering and the things they saying when we've already experienced what his presidency would look like? Like, once again, this is not telling you who to vote for. This is using our own reasoning and deduction from what we know has happened and what we see happening in front of our eyes, because we should care about what's going on. It just is what it is. So you hear Oprah, she come through. They calling out all the big guns. But what's funny is, so somebody say in the chat, celebrities have choices. Everyone does. That's a fact. So let's talk about Oprah and her choices, right? So this is what she's saying now. She anti-Trump, but how soon these people forget. But good thing about history is, and a lot of media is, a lot of these things still exist if you know what to go look for. So it's a conversation that's been floating around. I want to bring it back to you. So hold on.
Major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke. joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you think of this year's presidential race, the way it's shaping up?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think that probably George Bush has an advantage in terms of the election. I think that probably people would say that he's got like that little edge in terms of the incumbency, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Jesse Jackson's done himself very proud. I think Michael Dukakis has done one hell of a job. And George Bush has done a hell of a job. You know, they all went in there sort of as semi-underdogs, including George Bush, and they've all come out. I think people that are around all three of those candidates can be very proud of the jobs they've done.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
Hey, so that's a blast from the past, right? That's 1988, the good year. That's the year your homeboy was brought into this world. So check it out. You hear Oprah, so you just talking greasy, say you don't rock with the man, but it was a time where you was endorsing you before he even had a political career. You was on his nuts. You was cool. Everything he wrote about you in his book and everything, bro. But now you done turned on Don, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's really good with that? What's the agenda? Why would she do this? Because he even said that if he did run, she would be the vice president. Now, ain't that something? The one they trying to tell you is a misogynist. Once again, we just keeping it real, bro. This is not being on a fan club. This is just being able to tell the truth. I hope it was something was to happen to you and somebody misportrayed you in the media and portrayed your image in the wrong way. Guess what? The autonomous party will be coming through with a perspective that's going to shine like truth. And somebody may not like it. It is what it is. But I just wanted y'all to see the hypocrisy in this, right? She just now, 2024, talking greasy. In 1988, you was singing all his praises. Coincidentally, he was also a Democrat at this time, donating to a lot of these people, a lot of these black celebrities now. It's funny how that worked, right? So peep game. So we see what that is, right? We see Oprah. Now they got your boy. They got the top coon, Master Splinter come through. Your boy DL Hughley. Let's see what he had to say at the convention.
Oh, how y'all doing? What's happening in California? Now, wait. Where those AKAs at? Where they at? You know what? In 3 months, ain't gonna be no living with y'all. I can tell you this. I don't blame Donald Trump for not wanting to debate Kamala. I've been married to a black woman for 40 years, and I ain't won one debate. I'm owing $93,000. Now, of course, Trump is saying that Kamala isn't black. I guarantee you this, Kamala's been black a lot longer than Trump's been a Republican. And if he keeps sliding in the polls the way he is, the only way he can keep Kamala out of the White House is if he buys it and refuses to rent it to her. Of course, Kamala's getting broad support. They got black men for Kamala, white men for Kamala, Latinos and Asians for Kamala. They even have Republicans for Kamala. Republicans for Kamala. I guess Donald Trump will finally know what it's like when you get left for a younger woman. But seriously, Kamala knows the truth about the American dream, that hard work is not enough. Hard work alone is not enough to succeed, that you need access and information and opportunity. And she knows that some folks are often denied those very things. As president, she will give each and every one of us a fair shot in life. But I have to admit, I didn't always believe that. I mean, if you told me the 15-year-old me would be on stage supporting a prosecutor and a teacher, there is no way that I would have believed you. But because of that, I made assumptions about Kamala's record. And I often repeated them to a lot of people. Then one day, Kamala invited me to her house. She put her hand on my shoulder and she asked me to do some research. Something I had never done. Something a lot of people I know had never done before. Imagine attacking someone's character without a single Google search. So I did what I should have done in the first place. I learned that she had done for us exactly what she promised to. I believe that your apology should be as loud as your accusation, and I'm here apologizing in front of the whole damn world. I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm so very glad I was wrong because, Kamala, you give me hope for the future, a future where my grandchildren, Nola and Stevie, had the freedom to control their own bodies, where they have the opportunity to go as far as their wits and their talents would take them. That future, ladies and gentlemen, is possible, but only if we elect Kamala Harris as the 47th President of the United States of America.
Let's to this cap ass shit, bro. So let's talk about some comments real quick, because I want to get to the so Sarah Smith, she say, we are so fooled. This is why we would never win. And I agree with what you're saying, but probably not for the reason that you're saying. So it's something I want to explain to the conscious community, right? It doesn't matter what you know to be true via your genealogy, via just the true history, even if you really know what your story is, right? You are in what is known as America, the country, the corporation, right? Whether it's legalese, whatever the case may be, even if you have removed yourself from the system, let's say for the very, very few minority who has actually done that process, you still have to live and make a living here. You have to participate in commerce. So it's in your best benefit for the country to be set in a position to where those of us who live here can operate through commerce fairly, bro. It's really just that simple. Y'all taking it too deep. It ain't no president. We are not advertising and saying that there's any singular president who finna come change our reality or give you reverse treaties or do stuff. That's not about to happen. We're not looking for that. We're looking for being able to make our own autonomous impact because we know what we can do with the history and the law. We don't need a president to do that for us. So I just want to hip y'all up who new to us. This ain't about making you go either way. This is about making a smart decision that affects us all, from your local all the way up to the feds, bro. It's just that simple. All right. So, and we're trying to show you why these folks are going against us and making such a push for a specific party for us in particular, because it goes against our best interest, but they are getting paid to do so and lead us down this path. We just got to keep it real. And you can tell how the way that they approached us. This is what we breaking down. So you just seen your boy, D.L. Hughley, right? So D.L. Hughley, he came out. He had a lot to say. So let's listen to Kenan Thompson, bro. I want y'all to hear how these folk outright lie. Watch this.
New York, it's Saturday night. Please welcome Kenan Thompson. What's up, DNC?
All right. Y'all remember this big old book from before? When Colorado Governor Jared Polis ripped the page out of it? This is Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. It is a, boo. It is a real document that you can read for yourself at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time? Here it is. You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this. Let's take a look. All right, do we got Matt here with us tonight? Is Matt here? Hey, there he is. Matt, how are you, sir? All right, Matt. Now, Matt, I understand that you work as an AV tech in Nevada, and you make a decent hourly wage, is that right? Oh, I don't know if we can hear Matt. Can we hear Matt?
Bruh.
So who's gonna fix it?
Bruh.
Keep speaking, Matt, till we can hear you. Uh-huh, okay, that's good. I guess we're gonna move on from Matt. And this is Becky. Becky, can we hear you?
Hi, Keenan, and it's great to be here.
Thank you. All right, good. Now,
goodness.
Becky, you're married, correct?
I am. Me and my wife have been together for about 8 years.
Hold on, before we get to Becky, we gotta address this. So little fella say, so we can read this on her page, meaning Kamala Harris' website, but not her agenda on potential policies. Now make that make sense. So you linked up some propaganda, and I'm gonna show you it is, but you ain't got none of your own policies that you put on there. Now make that part make sense. So let's get back to Becky so she can tell her story.
Oh, that's amazing. Very, very cute.
Thanks.
But I have got some bad news for you.
I hate that.
On page 584, Project 2025 calls for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus
Bruh.
Americans. So yeah,
That's
right back
terrible.
to the Stone
Yeah.
Age. I'm afraid so.
Right back to the Stone Age. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Becky, for being here and making that wonderful point. All right,
They
next
putting on a
up,
Hollywood production, bro.
we have Nirvana. Nirvana, are you with us? And your people are with us as well? All right, good. Now, Nirvana, I understand
Yes.
that you are on insulin to manage
Bruh.
your diabetes, yes?
Yes, and thanks to President Biden and Vice President Harris, I only pay $35 a month for my
Bruh.
insulin.
That is great. That is great. But on page 465, Project 2025 calls for millions of people like yourself to pay more for prescription drugs like insulin.
Why?
Why? Well, I guess maybe to help Big Pharma make more money that they can donate to Republican politicians, I assume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, unfortunately, it does make sense.
Boy, this is so
All
cap.
right,
Do
let's
y'all
talk
listen?
to Anita. Anita, are you there?
Do y'all feel like these are just random citizens in America talking about this, or this is just some cap scripted bull? Like they're not speaking from the heart, bro. Do y'all really believe this is a Hollywood production? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, bro.
Yes. Hello, Anita.
Hello.
And Anita, what do you do for a living?
I'm an OBGYN who delivers babies and does surgery.
An OBGYN. She is an OBGYN.
You say award show feel, right? Now you see Buddy, he from Saturday Night Live. Y'all know him. He been what? Keenan and Kel and all that orange soda, all that other shit. Yeah, him.
That delivers babies. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah. It's bad news, isn't it?
It sure is. On page 459, Project 2025 resurrects a law from the 1800s called the Comstock Act to ban abortion nationwide and throw healthcare providers in jail.
That is awful.
Yes, it is awful. All right, let's do one more. Is Sharia with us? Sharia, are you there?
Hey, Keenan, I'm here.
Yes, Sharia, I love it. All right, let's talk to you. I understand that you work for the federal government?
Yes, sir. I'm in the United States Department of Education. I'm a proud civil servant and a proud union president.
She works for the Department of Education and she's a proud civil servant. Well, unfortunately for you, on page 78, Project 2025 calls for President Trump to purge the civil service of everyone who isn't a MAGA loyalist. Are you a MAGA loyalist?
Now, Keenan, absolutely not.
I'm just asking. I mean, you might as well be, because also page 319 calls for the complete elimination of the Department of Education. There's a bunch of stuff in here, but that's all we have time for at the moment. Just remember, everything that we just talked about is very real. It is in this book. You can read it online at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. And most importantly, you can stop it from ever happening by electing Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
Yeah, get your ass up out of here. Yeah, so this performance is scripted with paid agents. I mean, actresses and actors. Exactly, bro. Come on, man. Like, think about what they up there saying, bro. You sitting here talking about Project 2025 when some of y'all have seen the video where I broke this down. Project 2025 is founded by the Heritage Foundation. They've been around since the 70s. And people from both sides, Democrat and Republican, have endorsed some of the policies they come up with. So they are their own think tank. They got Republicans, Democrats, Independent, all kind of stuff in there, bro. This is their agenda. It's been said several times. So I want y'all to hear out of his own mouth. I want you to hear the boy Trump. Hold on. Because it's really ridiculous. If you're going to attack him on Agenda 47, his plan. That's fair game, right? But you can't put no false charge on this man saying that this is his plan when it's factually not, bro. It just is what it is. Hold on.
Back on the campaign trail on Saturday, just a week after a gunman tried to assassinate him. The rally in Michigan also marked the first campaign event with his new running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance.
It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
While the former president tries to distance himself from Project 2025, which is a 900-plus page policy roadmap and personnel database gathered by conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, a lot of his key allies have been directly involved in creating Project 2025. And although the RNC's official platform and Project 2025 differ, the goals in Project 2025 are very similar to some of the campaign promises Trump makes at his rallies. Meanwhile, back here in Georgia, another Trump campaign office has opened in Gainesville. Just last weekend, his supporters gathered to celebrate the grand opening of an office in Athens near the UGA campus. The Gainesville office is now the 13th in the state.
So you heard what he say, man. Saying he ain't got nothing to do with the Project 2025. He done laid out his plan. He talk about it every chance he get, bro. Like, come on, we got to just call a spade a spade. So how are the Democrats just able to keep coming out here attaching this lie to this man and not just talking about their own policies or going against the ones that he actually did put out? Because he actually has put one out. We just got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to be honest with what's going on here. Talk about the real issue. Don't make them shits up. You feel me? It's enough going on that you could be talking about instead of you having to make something up, especially if he's as bad as you say he is. Hey, go break down the court paperwork. Go show what the man been doing in court that y'all say so egregious with all these felonies. I mean, if you really want to bury him, that's what you should do. That's what just will make the most sense, right? So, hey, look, it ain't stopped there. I just wanted to show y'all this. You know, they had to bring out the big dogs, the Obama. So, you know, we do ladies first over here, allegedly. This lady, we going to come through and play what Michelle had to say. Hold on.
of the two major candidates in this race, only Kamala Harris truly understands the unseen labor and unwavering commitment that has always made America great. Now, unfortunately, we know what comes next. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. Wait. I want to know, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Lame as hell.
It's his same old con. His same old con. Doubling down on ugly, misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions that will actually make people's lives better. Look, because cutting our health care, taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did, those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. Shutting down the Department of Education, banning our books, none of that will prepare our kids for the future. Demonizing our children for being who they are and loving who they love, look, that doesn't make anybody's life better. Instead, it only makes us small. And let me tell you this, going small is never the answer. Going small is the opposite of what we teach our kids. Going small is petty, it's unhealthy, and quite frankly, it's unpresidential.
She said that's unpresidential. Hold on. What's it? She said that's a whack life, but I get it. Don't know what you're talking about, but Creek Blood said they can put this show on VH1. I'm telling you, bro. It's like what was all them shows they had with the what was that one show with damn, what's that lady name? She was they had the white president, the black lady, she was like the fixer. Damn, real popular actress. Y'all know who I'm talking about in the comment. But yeah, it could be easily one of them political shows they already make and put on TV. You feel me? So it's just crazy. They attaching things. This man Trump ain't never said nothing about stopping no IVF and all of that. Come on, bro. Like they just attributing things to him, making this whole race about your body rights. Like, goddamn, like we got a whole bunch of issues going on, bro. Like that's gonna be the basis of what we talking about for every single issue. That don't really make sense, bro. Sarah talking crazy, talking about no small head. But yeah, so check it out. So that was Michelle, right? So let's go see what the boy Barack had to say.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up. I am feeling ready to go, even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama. I am feeling hopeful because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. It's been 16 years since I had the honor of accepting this party's nomination for president. And I know that's hard to believe because I have not aged a bit. But it's true. And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best. And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president. History will remember Joe Biden as an outstanding president who defended democracy at a moment of great danger. And I am proud to call him my president, but I am even prouder to call him my friend. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris. And in the White House, she will have an outstanding partner in Governor Tim Walz. I love this guy. Tim is the kind of person who should be in politics. Born in a small town, served his country, taught kids, coached football. You can tell those flannel shirts he wears don't come from some political consultant. They come from his closet, and they have been through some stuff. We need a president who actually cares about the millions of people all across this country who wake up every single day to do the essential, often thankless work, to care for our sick, to clean our streets, to deliver our packages. We need a president who will stand up for their right to bargain for better wages and working conditions. And Kamala will be that president. Yes, she can.
Boy, I love them catchphrases, don't it? They always got the catchphrases for us. They doing the same slogan. They know Obama can come tell a hellified speech. They come up there, so they brought the big dogs to come end it off, right? So that's your DNC. A lot of other celebrities hit. They had Stevie Wonder out there singing. Boy, they had all kind of people. You feel me? It was going crazy. You know, all the bells and whistles. It looked like a production, like y'all was saying, a concert mixed with a production. It was just all out theater. You hear me? So then now let's kind of speed up to where we at now. So after this all pop up, you got a lot of people, especially what they would call the average black person who's speaking out, saying that they don't really rock with this Democratic representation. And they got right to say so. And I'm in agreement with them, right? But then you got the celebrities coming behind to reinforce some of the same ones we just seen speaking, right? So let's talk to one about Jermaine Dupri. A lot of y'all may know Jermaine Dupri from the music business, you know what I'm saying? Repping Atlanta, all that good stuff, right? So he came out, and he is a supporter of Kamala Harris, right? So with that in mind, notice that before you listen to this video. So I'm going to play this video. He put out a random thought, and we're going to break it down.
Here getting these 5 miles in, as you see me do every day. Real quick, I want to talk about the DNC. I feel like the DNC has been going amazing, but I also feel like tonight, Kamala Harris has a pretty difficult job, right? And it's interesting because the Republican correspondent that's been doing the roundup after the DNC has ended, he asked the question that I kind of asked Kamala when we had our second meeting. You know, if, you know, the fact that she's in office right now, she's in the White House right now. And the guy, he said, what makes y'all believe that she's gonna get this stuff done if she becomes president and she's already in the House? And it's a tricky question because I asked Kamala basically the same thing, right? In so many words. And I asked her, like, as the vice president, why they don't let her talk when, you know, Biden seems like he needed someone to speak up for him. I thought that's what the role of the vice president was to help the president. And basically, she kind of let me know that her hands was tied, that they didn't really allow her to be a voice like that in that space. And tonight, I don't know if she's gonna, you know, I want to see how if she even touches on this, because if she doesn't touch on it, that's the question that I feel like the people that have mixed decisions about voting for her, this is one of the questions. This is the top question that they had. And like I said, this is what the Republicans are saying. You know, they never heard the part about her hands being tied. And if she says something about her hands being tied, then it makes it look like the White House or the Democratic Party didn't really want her to exceed. So she can't really say her hands was tied, but she does have to step into that space. This is something I do believe.
All right. So for y'all who repeat what he's saying, basically, once again, he's in support of Kamala, right? So he's saying that he got invited to the White House. Now, it's funny how all these damn entertainers getting to go to the White House, but not the people who actually do politics. So make that part make sense. But anyway, this goes to the name of the title, right? All the celebrities getting a personal invite to the White House. All right, so check it. So he's saying basically, like, why weren't you speaking up more when you can tell that Joe Biden was declining? And she said that her hands was tied. So Jermaine Dupri is saying after he hears the Republican commentators, what they are saying about when her hands was tied, he's wondering where is the Democratic support to come and speak to her defense. This is what he meant by when he made this video. But the Democratic base so damn slow, bro. They thought the man was dissing her, saying that they thought that he was saying that why you didn't do nothing when you was the vice president, basically. And that wasn't what he was trying to say. But they went crazy on this man, so much to the fact that, because he posted this on X, right, on Twitter. And so Roland Martin made a comment, you know how he do. He think he the smartest nigga ever in the world. So he make his comment, right? So then the pressure gets so big on Jermaine Dupri, they hit this man up and make him do a joint video with Roland Martin. Check it out.
Here. All right, let's make sure you ain't. There you go. There you go.
What's happening?
All right. So Roland, I gave him a little bit of context about what I was saying.
Right.
And I need you to give him a little context on how you viewed what actually was happening as opposed to what actually happened.
So here's the deal, folks. When Jermaine posted the video, he referenced a Republican commentator on CNN who was saying, well, she was there. Why couldn't she do this while she was president? Excuse me, while she's vice president. No, y'all, I'm not trying. Y'all, listen, I'm not trying to help Jermaine save face. I'm telling y'all, I saw the video, and then when we talked,
I said, Jermaine, here's what I think happened that caused people. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I said, like a couple of things got just sort of, and I said, so I understood it. The vice president is really handicapped in a way where it's really a position where your job is to support the president. And so I think what happened was, I think a lot of people, when you mentioned the Republican guy, they thought you were saying, oh, I'm agreeing with him. Why she ain't getting this stuff done? So I think that's what happened.
Man, that dude's so corny and lame, bro. So you see that they basically, anytime you're a black celebrity and you speak out, instantly you get outcasted. You get a lot of backlash from your peers. This is how they play the game. Now, why is it not no real discussions being had? It's just you automatically need to choose a side. Nobody has to even appeal for our vote. They ain't got to come with no policy. They ain't got to make no promises. Once the community say that who we riding with, it's supposed to be no question after that. So we getting a lot of backlash now because, you know, we didn't had 60 plus years of rocking with the same party as a majority, and that ain't working out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what's really going on? Now, those of us who get it, we understand and we know. We just trying to alert the people, because once again, this is not about you aligning. I don't give a damn if you choose the different every couple of years. You were switching party lines because you shouldn't be affiliated with the party. It's whoever's best for your own economic situation, right? This what it's the capitalism is what we living in. This is why the immigrants come over here. They're not coming over here for free speech. They coming over here to get some money on, bro. This is what it is. We focused on the wrong thing, right? So check it out. You see what happened? Roland Martin hopped on ASAP. So let's go down the road now, because it kept on building. So you know that boy Umar, Ifuntunde, whatever he be calling himself, he didn't got into it with Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and D.L. Hughley because of the pressure they putting on black folks, right? Especially black men. So check this out. Here what they talking about. Shout out to who dropped this video. I think the first video is 60 MVTV. Shout out to you.
He over here. I'm not no Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey. You don't drop no check off and say get the Negroes to the plantation on November the 4th. You don't drop no check off and say get the Negroes to the plantation.
All right. Go on and collect.
Kamala Harris for president. Thank you very much.
I approve this message.
I approve this message. Absolutely for free. If you try to offer me 10,000, I'm gonna quit talking to you.
All right, so here we go. Dr. Umar Johnson took to Instagram last Thursday to be exact. He said he was offered $10,000 to do an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris, and went on to say that he believes other celebrities are being paid to support Vice President Kamala for her bid for the White House, right? Umar specifically called you out, Steve. He called out Ricky Smiley. He claimed that both of you were paid to support Kamala Harris's campaign. Here's what he said.
But if we're going to be honest, Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley, and I love you both, no hate to my big brothers, but if we're going to be honest, Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey, y'all only carried on because y'all got paid to carry on. Can we please be honest? Can we see? I want y'all to understand, overstand, and understand what King Kong is talking about. Y'all carried on because y'all got paid.
Hey, buddy, funny as hell, man.
To carry on. Kamala Harris and the Democratic plantation is paying you celebrities, paying you to shame black people into voting. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of the vote, but they being paid. Y'all being bought. They offered me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. I don't want your money, but we can definitely do the interview.
So, you know, we've had Vice President.
So let's be clear on what he was saying now. He was saying that Kamala Harris' team reached out to him and was going to pay him $10,000 to speak with her, right? And he turned it down. So he's saying that it got to be other celebrities who are getting approached with getting paid to endorse her, basically. So he didn't say that other people are getting the same amount as him. He just saying he know that they reached out to him to pay him. Why would they not reach out to somebody else at a bigger stature to pay them as well? So P game.
President Harris on the show many times. So let's address this bogus claim, please, Steve.
Well, first of all, we're going to have her on her again, or how many other times is needed to get her into office.
To get the vote.
Brother Umar, let me say this, man. I absolutely love some of the things you say. I really, really do, man. Some of the stuff I don't always agree with, but ain't nobody got to agree with everything I say. But let me clear the air on something.
Please.
You can't hire Steve Harvey for $10,000 to do nothing.
Yes, hey.
Let me just A that out the way. I don't know where you got that number from, but you can't offer Steve Harvey $10,000 to do nothing. No, you can go through the industry and ask about me.
That's
Bro,
hey.
let me tell you something. Omar, let me tell you something, man. And ain't no hate here at all, cause I like some of the work he does. I really do.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't
He said he
I
loved
don't
you too.
do nothing for $10,000. Don't even insult the brand equity that I've built over these 30 years of television. I just don't, man. And I'm doing this absolutely free of charge because I want this country to be in her hands as opposed to Donald Trump's hands. That's why I do it. Now, me and Ricky Smiley happen to be on the same page.
Hey, make sure y'all listen to this part.
Now, we Q's now, and so is D.L. Hughley. And Q's kind of run the airways of black radio.
Okay. All right.
The Q's is running the airways of black radio.
All right, Purple and Gold.
Okay. But we also understand what's at stake here. So no, I haven't received a single dollar from anybody to do what I do. And I'm doing it gladly for free.
Yes.
And I'm going to freely have her on here again and again and again. I am going to freely ask soft-ass questions. I am going to freely lob the basketball so she can slam dunk all these questions. Yes. I'm going to freely sit here and agree. So the black vote is not for sale. But it is a very important block of votes.
Listen to what this man's saying, bro. So you saying it's an important block of votes, but you gonna let her come up here knowing that you have this platform and you gonna not ask her any real questions just off GP. She's supposed to get the nod from everybody, and you didn't even try to ask her and do no due diligence. What sense do that make, bro? You a grown man up here saying this, bro.
Yeah.
That can control the outcome of this election. And if I have my way, if it is within God's will, she will be the next president of the United States, because the alternative, see, there's only two people running for president.
Yeah.
It's Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump. That's the choice. So I don't know. You know, and if somebody offered you 10, you should have took it. But anybody offered me nothing. But please don't insult me and offer me $10,000. Because I'm telling you right now, it cost way more for me to wake up and turn this mic on.
Oh, Steve,
way
we
more.
gotta get him is $10,000.
I can't even let that get out about me.
The amount of insulting to you. Wow.
That's just, I mean, really,
The
man.
brand.
And you know, look, man, they could take their campaign money and put it into other causes, like buying ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The ad I'm running right now, this is free.
Free.
He proud of
Please
this,
go
bro.
vote for Kamala
I'm
Harris.
running a
Do it for free.
Kamala Harris campaign ad right now. Please vote. The black vote is not for sale.
It is not.
But it is a very, very viable force. It really is important. And that's why everybody wanted, man.
That's right.
And because let me tell you something. If you look at just look at the last presidential election, when it got down to Michigan, Wisconsin. It got down to Philadelphia. It got down to
Pennsylvania.
Georgia, Atlanta. Yeah. Philly, Pennsylvania. All those, the Republicans were winning out in the suburbs. When they got to the inner cities where we heavily populate Atlanta, Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee, that turned the election.
Yeah.
And the same thing can happen this time. And they all know it. Why do you think Donald Trump, who don't give a damn about the National Association of Black Journalists, would even walk his ass out there? He was out there to try to make black people think that he's done more for black people than any president since Abraham Lincoln. But he can't name one thing he's done for black people. And then got mad at the black woman for asking him tough questions.
Cal.
Now,
man, listen to how these dudes lie. Now, y'all who been rocking with the party, we watched this. We saw this with our own eyes. The lady came out on some bullshit. It was several tough questions asked by the other sisters, but they wasn't trying to, they wasn't trying to be nasty with it, bro. They just straight up asked the question. And they talking about him, yeah, he showed respect by coming. But Kamala felt like, I got the celebrities who these niggas already admire. I ain't got to come to no petty ass shit like this. She ain't even show. But look how they spin it, bro. It's crazy to me. So this your boy Steve Harvey and the Umar, right? They going back and forth. And truthfully, Umar say some shit I don't agree with. I ain't with the Africa. I do think he con man with the school because it's been forever. But on this particular topic, he right. And he'll watch Steve Harvey when it comes to this because he know his statistical facts. He gonna be able to speak to this. So yeah, I would have to side with Umar on this. He'll wipe the floor with Steve Harvey and them, bro. Them boys really some suckers selling the people out. You done heard they peers, Monique's, Cat Williams. They've been speaking. Bernie Mac that spoke out about these cats and how they really good down. So if they character like that with their own people, what you think they like for everybody else? You know they vote for sale because this man was just backing Trump not too long ago, a couple years ago. All the history been out on the entertainers, bro. So it's so funny how they come out here. But let's get to another entertainer. Let's go check out that boy, Uncle Luke, man. Old ass Uncle Luke. He then became another one of those Democratic payroll. I think him and Plies got the same agent. So check this out. Let's listen to what Tariq Nasheed versus Uncle Luke got going on.
Hey everybody, it's your boy O'Shea.
Shout out to that boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, man.
Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Dima. Oh, come on, music. Guys, as you know, it's been real in the field. Tariq Nasheed and Luke have been battling it out on social media, and it has looked like a Joe Frazier versus Ali fight. As you know, Luke has been simping so hard for Kamala Harris and the Democrats. He's been one of the shields that have obviously come against brother Tariq to basically stop what Tariq and other pro-blacks are saying. Now, this is interesting because Luke, from 2016 to 2022, has been against Democrats. Look at this. I'm with Trump on this one. The Democrat Party don't give a damn about black people. Welcome to Luke Records. This is what he said in 2016. You're looking at it. In 2022, Luke posted this. African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party. All they do is use us for our vote. But now in 2024, Luke has said this to black men.
Message to all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA Party. I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to come back. You can come back. You have until Sunday, 12 high noon. We'll take you back. We'll take you back. There's no more blue, no matter who. It's come on, bang, bang. Come on, bang, bang. Coach.
Then he followed it up by saying this directly to Tariq Nasheed.
That's a group of black men, and most of them hang out on Twitter. Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God. I do not like him.
You know,
I swear, I feel like he's an agent. An agent.
yeah. At the end of the day, they get on there, they fool these people with these doctors and these books and all that. And
Hey, that boy said he fooled these people with the doctors and the books. God forbid you got some books and you didn't did some research. That's the worst thing you can do to one of these niggas.
they try and separate the black community. Mind you, here's a guy I'm talking about, descendants of slaves, married to a white lady. Which I'm like, are y'all following him? You know what I'm saying? So I like.
Now, Tariq Nasheed didn't take that so well at all. So Tariq fired back with this particular post, because Luke and Two Live Crew had a song called Me So Horny. He says this, "Play the music." I wonder when did Caribbean immigrant Luther Campbell fall off and become a lion shield for the Democrats? Did all the Two Live Crew checks dry up? Is the struggle real? And this is Tariq Nasheed really making fun of Luke. But then Luke really destroys himself by basically saying that all of the artists that are selling sex in today's world owe him some money, like Sexy Red and the rest of them.
I need a check from Ice Spice. I need a check from Sexy Red. All the fucking girls, Megan Thee Stallion, anybody that's running around shaking their ass. Male rap is on some shit right now. I'm sorry. The females are winning. They're doing everything that I did. I'm still waiting for these girls to send me a fucking check. I need a check from Ice Spice, who turned her around and dropping it like it's hot and doo-doo browning. I need a check from her. I need a check from Sexy Red. That Red, my friend. My man.
And that boy got to talking about a whole bunch of foolishness. That's how you know they pandering. But APTV, he say, I don't rock with Tariq either, respectfully, but at least Tariq ain't out here telling you who to vote for. I don't rock with Buddy either because I feel like he mixing the dope up with the history and not telling the true story. However, just like with the Umar situation earlier, he would wash Luke in a debate without question because Luke is not an intellectual. He's a damn dummy. And you can tell he got the check paid and he done bought into this, right? So that's the main thing I wanted to point out and show here is a lot of times our people get this stuff, they don't actually go listen to the speeches. They don't look at the presentation. They just go off the sound bites of what somebody else told them, right? But when you actually go watch this and you can see for yourself and you know it don't sit right with you because they talking crazy. They're talking to us like we elementary kids and using motivational speeches instead of getting to the matter at hand. What's the issues? What's the policies? What are we gonna get? Everybody else is selling their vote. That's the crazy part of Steve Harvey talking about, right? You ain't going to no other community and gonna get their vote by and large without doing something for them. This is straight up politics and commerce, man. This ain't about saving your life. This is doing something like, hey, my vote, you spending this money to get my vote. So I ain't gonna just give it to you because you look like me. When we should know that nationality and skin color don't always add up. You can look and have the same exact skin texture and have a completely different genealogy and ancestral history, bro. It's just the facts of the matter. This is why it's important for us to understand history and know what's really going on. But before we get up out of here, I want to break down. Shout out to God of Green, man. He sent us over some an article I want to read real quick. We're gonna take it over to screen 3 and we're gonna break this down because I'm just your homeboy with the news, so y'all can think I'm just talking. But we like to show and prove over here. So let's read an article from the other side when this ain't just my opinion. Other people have started to put this together and see that the Democrats use celebrities way too much. So before I get to reading this, I'm gonna put it in the chat so y'all can go check it out too. Y'all know how we do. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna read it and say the Democratic Party's obsession with Hollywood celebrities was bound to blow up. The party's reliance on the entertainment industry reached a crescendo during the 2016 presidential campaign when, according to the Wrap, at least 167 Hollywood elites endorsed Hillary Clinton. And these were not passive endorsements. For Democrats, celebrities became a meaningful source of money, message delivery, and even a tool for crowd building at Clinton's anemic campaign events. Anyway, Clinton lost and Trump became president. And then came Harvey Weinstein, who, after having long been celebrated and enabled by the Democratic Party establishment, is now being exiled. But with some more 30 women accusing Weinstein of offenses ranging from harassment to rape, it is the Weinstein scandal big enough to cause a break between the Democratic Party and the entertainment industry? The answer is no. Now, mind you, this was 2017. In January, I cited a useful piece written by New York Post writer and editor Maureen Callahan, why celebrity endorsements didn't help Hillary at all. And her words warrant repeating, that those who have money, fame, privilege, and status and have no cause to worry and fail to do so can only further divide the country and alienate those who rightly feel unseen, unheard, and looked down upon. And after Clinton lost, Callahan wrote, those celebrities who reacted publicly often did so with a pungent brew of self-pity, condescension, and didactism. So today, rather than pause and reflect, many Democrats, led by no less than Clinton, are attempting to deflect from the outcry over Weinstein and the long cover-up of his behavior by citing Trump as if he is equally guilty. So this is the games they play, y'all. People have already been talking. This was from 2017. All right. So I want to send something else over to show y'all it's not a coincidence. So Steve Harvey dropped the bag when he said something. He said, really, the Q dogs running the radio is what he said. So when he was referencing that, he's talking about, you got Steve Harvey with a big show, you got Ricky Smiley with a big show, and you got D.L. Hughley. Now, all of these guys are what you would call Q dogs, even though D.L. Hughley, he just an honorary one. He is, he's an honorary one. So he ain't lying. He actually is a Q dog. So that's mighty interesting. And for those of y'all who track history, y'all know the infamous history of the Prince Hall Freemasons, right? Everything that they are tied to, the big dogs, right? So check this out. We're going to go to some names. Like I say, shout out to Garada Green. What we got right here? We got your boy Ricky Smiley, and then we got your boy Steve Harvey. Yeah, they the big dogs who put D.L. Hughley in position because, nobody was checking him for the Kings of Comedy. We all know this. But he rode the coattail to revive his career. That boy had to pledge his allegiance, you hear me? So we know what it is here, bro. So like always, man, all we trying to get the people to do is be informed. You know what I'm saying? Be informed on what's going on. Put everything under scrutiny. One thing I do agree with that he was saying, that Steve was saying, was these people, they want our vote. So guess what? If we're going to give it to them, we need to get something in return, bro. It's just that simple. We shouldn't react off emotion or what they telling us to do. We need to look at this from an autonomous lens and do our own research. So that's all we ever been promoting over here. It's crazy how the Democrats are appealing to us. They got no respect on our name. They don't value us for real. They just pandering. That's literally the definition, the stuff that they are doing. But then you got the other side who's trying to talk to us with some type of issues and policy, but we don't even want to listen and hear it because we getting told it's bad. Like you had these folks who grown men like Jermaine Dupri. He would rather admit to doing all kind of stuff than saying that he agreed with some Republican view, but he was literally scared. You a grown man. Come on, man. You can't be, if you're a grown person, you shouldn't be bullied out of your opinion. You should only change your opinion based on new information that you have researched to be fact. But hey, I'm just a homeboy with the news doing what I do. So we appreciate y'all who've been rocking with the party, been getting a lot of support on the videos we post lately. Tap into the merch, man. We out here for a cause and a purpose. We ain't asking for no donations. Just shop with us. Support the channel. Share the videos with a friend. The whole nine. But that's my time, y'all. I appreciate y'all for everything that y'all do. Hey, salute to you, man. Y'all showing me love. He say, salute family, nothing better than the homeboy with the news, keeping the news alive. That's what I'm on, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. So that's my time, y'all. I'm out of here. Till next time, y'all keep it positive. Y'all keep it pushing. I'm out of here, man. Peace.
Niggas, the top 5 lister, double S drifter, separate sipping, and you know I came with it if she cute with it.
Yo.
Whenever I start to feel alone, I just play your voicemail that I say before things change. Now I read the message you sent, trying to tune out where you say I know you love me, but